What's going on, y'all? So, Sisterhood is hip hop. Season 3, episode. Well, no, bitch. Season 2, episode 3. I done spit their asses up. Let me just. This episode was really like a filler episode, but I like the fact. Let me get this out the way. Bia, she was on there trying to get her music together, and see, I really enjoyed the fact like this. I couldn't wait till this episode ended because Diamond was on it, and I knew she was gonna be on it in some fuck shit, and sure enough, she was. Okay. Bia was in the studio. She was getting her songs together. You know, she's cool with Pusha T, and she, you know, has that relationship with him that he'll come down to the studio and listen to her songs and, you know, give her advice on which one should she do he like them, or, you know, which one do you think should be out on the radio and stuff like that, should be pushed as a single. And I think they decided on this Chain song, right? And so, you know, she goes and presented to Pharrell, and Pharrell was like, you know, it's not good for right now. That's not what the season is, or whatever the fuck. So no, that's not gonna be the single. Now at first I was taking it back. I was like, wait a minute. That's not what I'm gonna put out. I said, but that's her shit. But then I was like, you know, Pharrell, he know what he talking about. I'm gonna put it like that. He know what he talking about. But that kind of would have hurt my heart. Like, wait a minute. You don't think it's good enough? Like, goddamn, you not gonna put my shit out? But all right, you know, you gotta listen to the veterans of the game, and you know Pharrell has hits, and you know you can't come in thinking that you know everything when you don't. So I appreciate the fact that Bia just, you know, took it in stride and all that stuff. But yeah, that's what it was. New focus, shoot, girl, what the fuck is that? But anyway, moving on from that, Bia's having this party. This little girls get to group. This girls get together at the end of the episode where they trying to get all of them together, and mostly to get Naima and Diamond to talk about their issue. We gonna get to that in a second. Speaking of Naima, she's out there in LA. You know, Brianna and her manager, her mama, come over to, you know, her place with you know, Saya, whatever, and they talking about how she living and all this stuff, and then they bring up the little issue that Diamond has with Naima and putting up that Instagram video and all that stuff. Let me tell you this. Brianna's mama, she has so much to say about everybody else. And most of the stuff that she be saying is true. Like when she was in that confessional talking about some, you know, was childish, is petty, you know, putting up this, what are you doing trying to get followers? She ain't do that shit trying to get no followers, okay? First of all. But the way she talks about other people is very kind of harsh and condescending a little bit. And I'm like, you got so much knowledge and you can fix a whole bunch of stuff, but you can't get your daughter shit off the ground. I'm just saying. But most of the stuff she be saying be true, okay? It is petty. It is childish. Let that shit go. You know, it's not that many women up here in hip hop doing it, and then y'all coming up in here and y'all going back and forth at each other. Now, I will forever, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Fuck all that. We'll get to that. Moving on. Naima was just, you know, listening to, you know, Bia stuff and supporting her. That was basically her scenes until the end of the episode. But the main focus of this episode was Saya. Saya and her entourage. Now, I love Saya, okay? She's probably my favorite one on the show. She's the one that I actually follow on Twitter and Instagram, okay? I don't follow none of the other ones on there. No shade, but I just don't. But, you know, even if you like somebody, you got to call them out on their bad behavior. And the shit that I was seeing, I was like, girl, yes, you put out your stuff. Yes, you have a following. Okay. Yes, your little mixtapes and your little EPs or whatever is successful. You know, you're doing a damn thing on your own. You making money and all this stuff. But this idea of having an entourage, all these people, you know, these motherfuckers just hanging around, you know, and you giving them these titles and all this stuff. And I'm like, why do you need all these people around? And most of them just look like they just there to leech off of you. I don't care if you say they've been around for this long and this long. Like Tank said, what the fuck are they really adding to the pie? Like, I just don't get it. I was just taking it back like, come on, girl. You got to do better than this, okay? You can be still cool with people, but this entourage shit, you gonna go broke before you fully really make it. You have not really 100% made it. Okay, your name is out there. People know of you. Yes, you get money, but you have not made it so that you can comfortably live without worrying about going broke. You know, you spending the money that you got, that you getting as quickly as you're getting it. Okay, it's going out just as quickly as it's coming in. That's what it look like. You taking these motherfuckers out to dinner, and then you spending all this money and you flossing it. Like, come on, you getting drunk down there all the time. Like, you gotta be more careful with your surroundings. You gotta be smarter. Okay, you gotta budget your money. Why do you need all these people around? Because you paying all these motherfuckers to be around you. That money could be in your pocket, going to your studio session, going to putting out your music, to your shit, and like your manager said, your fucking brand. You have to think of yourself as a goddamn brand. And that's what, see, back in the day, let's do a little bit of music history. You had record labels like Stax Records. You had Motown especially, where they would come out with an artist before they actually put them out there. They made sure they schooled the fuck out of them, and they made sure they was fucking ready. Okay, and these motherfuckers ain't ready these days. Okay, ain't nobody out here taking time to make sure their shit together to teach them how to. That's what y'all need. Just quit putting these motherfuckers out here without give them a class or something, because I know some of them probably don't want that, but you want to be successful in this business and you want longevity. And what if you put out a one-hit wonder or whatever, and it blows the fuck up and it gives you a lot of money? You want to take that money that you use, that you came into the game with, or that you got once you got in the game, and then you're doing all this touring and stuff. You want to be able to live comfortably off of that and be able to invest and make that shit multiply. So you won't have to worry about where your next dollar coming from and what your next meal gonna be. Okay? You don't want to just spend that shit up, spending it all on fancy ass, expensive ass dinner, and you don't even need that shit. Yeah, it's cool to go out and have a good time every once in a while, but you don't need to do that shit all the fucking time. Alright? You have to spend your money wisely. You have to invest that shit. You want your shit to fucking multiply. You want to be fruitful, okay? And this frivolous spending and all this stuff, it's gonna be your downfall, sire. Stop that shit. I'm just saying from what I'm seeing, and I don't want that shit to happen. And your manager is right. You gotta cut that shit out, okay? And when you came to Tank's house, once again, I said this in the last video, Tank be shitty as a manager most time, okay? Because we don't ever see him. But even if he's shitty, y'all make a business fucking deal, a business meeting or whatever. You come to that business meeting on fucking time. Because if it was anybody else or anything else, not even a business meeting for Tank, bitch, you come to it on time. Because then people are going to want to look at you and be like, this bitch can't come on time. We don't want to fucking work with her. Okay? Time is valuable in this fucking industry in just about everything that you do. Alright? You can't have motherfuckers waiting on you. Alright? You in a company and you setting up a meeting and you over an hour late, 45 minutes to an hour late, it's over and done with. You done lost that opportunity, okay? Yes, Tank is your manager and he is working for you. And he trying to get, so you can hire, you can fire, because he trying to get you to re-sign with him. And I think she taking advantage of that just a little bit, because like when they had that conversation, she was like, she do look at him like a father figure. He looks at her like a daughter. But at certain points, you can clearly tell that because they got that type of relationship, sometimes they don't know how to separate business from personal. And it's more personal most time on their parts. On both parts, okay? And, they gotta learn how to separate that shit. Sorry, it was fucking wrong for you to bring you having a fucking business meeting. Okay? I ain't never had to go in on site this much. It kind of hurt my heart. But girl, you having a business meeting with your motherfucking manager at his house, and you bring a couple of strangers that he don't know. He looking like, who the fuck is this? It's my entourage. And then you say one of them is an artist. Like, come on. And Tank good, because he said y'all can go chill out in the kitchen and get y'all something to drink or whatever. Hell no, you can sit your ass out in the car. The car that you rolled up in this bitch in, okay? I didn't invite you in my house, alright? But you don't do that. And, she went on ahead and, he was basically breaking it down to it about this management thing, and how they like family. He looked at her like her daughter, and it made him weary or whatever, worried about hearing that she was thinking about signing with T-Pain and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, she's still gonna be with Tank. That's fine. I guess for her, if it's working for her, if she's comfortable enough and he knows her enough and all this stuff and yada yada yada, that's where they gonna stay at. But Saya, don't do that shit no more. Okay? You have a business meeting, whatever meeting, you better just be there 15 to 20 minutes early. Okay? Not no 45 minutes to an hour late. No. And don't come there drunk. Don't come there hungover so you too comfortable. That's what it is. But moving on from that, Diamond. Y'all know she irks my nerves. And it don't even have to be. And I'm going to call Naima out on her bullshit too. Because I like Naima, but we got to call a spade a fucking spade. The reason why Diamond and Naima don't get along, because they damn near the same, okay? They damn near the fucking same in all the shit that they do. Attitude and everything. But the only difference is, Naima seems a little bit more humble than Diamond. Diamond thinks just because she came from this group who had very minimum mediocre success, local hood success, not, you could say semi-mainstream, but, I guess she thinks she really the shit. The shit. She thinks she on some level of fucking Nicki Minaj or somebody. That's how I don't know if that's what she think, but that's how her attitude comes off. That's how her ego and her arrogance come off, and it's a big turn off. And it's been a turn off since season 1. And I was so pissed off. Y'all know, when I seen that, and I was like, girl, I didn't know you was like this. You calling bitches youngins and childs and all this stuff like you really that much older. Y'all in the same fucking age group. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be referred to you as my a youngin or whatever. Bitch, please, okay? Calm the fuck down. Yes, you been in this game for a minute, but what have you really done that's really popped off as a solo artist? Okay, you been underground, you been locally. Has you been on MTV as a solo artist? I don't know about BT because I don't watch that shit. Have you been on VH1 as a solo artist? Have you been on the top 10 Billboard charts? Are you on the fucking Billboard charts as a solo artist? Have you brought out a debut CD or whatever the fuck that's done something? Not no EP, not no mixtape, a damn CD. Y'all put that shit down in the comments and tell me. You doing all this stuff and you got all this attitude and arrogance and ego for a bitch who ain't really done shit if you want to put it out there. All you hoes on this motherfucking show is on the same fucking level. That's why you're on this fucking show. Okay? You did all that big talking about who the fuck you were last season and you still ain't got no album out. Okay? You still ain't got no real single out. You managing yourself. And pause. Brianna talking about some girl, you managing yourself. How can you do that? You crazy. Motherfuckers be out here managing themselves all the damn time. Okay? It can be done. Okay? It is not that damn hard. This is not the fucking Stone Age and you need a man or, somebody else to do your shit for you all the time and you can't do shit for yourself. Okay? Come the fuck on. You may not be able to do it, but others can, and others have. Women, female, women, male, all the same. They've been managing themselves. It's not really that hard. I mean, it's hard, but it's not like it's not doable. Okay? But back to fucking Diamond. You going down to Atlanta. To LA. You tell your dude and all that stuff. First of all, you look dusty as fuck in that confessional with that rag. I don't know what was going on. Don't ever put that shit on no more. No fucking more. Then, you trying to, the only thing about Diamond that I like was the idea of her putting that band together. And the shit sound kind of cute a little bit. Minus that auto-tune. I hate when rappers put auto-tune. Like, bitch, you rapping. You not singing. Why the fuck you got auto-tune on your shit? But that's another story from here to there. She doing all that shit. You talking all that big talk. And you getting pissed off at Naima because of an Instagram video. Granted, it was shade. Naima, I don't give a damn how many ways you want to slice it, dice it, flip it, put it in the oven, bake it, and then fry that shit. It was shady, okay? It was, and it could be perceived as shade regardless of what your explanation is for, okay? Own up to it and say, yeah, bitch, I did it, and the fuck what? It is what it is, okay? We know you two don't like each other, and I don't give a fuck. You know, Naima wanted to say that it was a fan. Her fan was coming at Naima, and so that's why she did it. And I'm like, okay, that's fine and dandy, but you know, don't sit there and act like you didn't really do nothing, and it wasn't gonna be perceived as shade, okay? But Diamond, you sitting there at Bia's party. First of all, is that really her house? I ain't know. It looked like the inside of a hotel room because you know in the hotel room they had the little instructions on the door and stuff. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know how it looks like in high rises and condos because I ain't been in one, but you know, okay. But you saying all this stuff and you getting your feelings, and if you had a real issue, like I said, if y'all real, you know, you talking about something, the respect is gone. You ain't gotta like me, but you real respect me. Who the fuck are you to respect, first of all? That's what I want to know. But it's clear that Naima want to sit there and act like she don't know exactly what the issue is. And if she don't, she could have probably genuinely didn't know, okay? Because that did happen way before they got back together and was cool or whatever. It's shown that they was cool or whatever. So I could see the shade being thrown or whatever. But you want to talk about respect. You want to call somebody a youngin, so that means you the adult in this situation. Why don't you take it upon yourself and quit being a petty little bitch and quit being in your motherfucking feelings and sit the bitch down and have a real conversation with the motherfucker and get the shit out. Now, when y'all was trying to have that conversation, you didn't want to hear what she had to say. Gonna say something, don't nobody give a fuck, because Naima was trying to say her side of the story, even though her side of the story was bullshit. But still, that's not how adults handle their situations. That's not how they handle their problems. Okay? And you want somebody to fucking respect you? Girl, get the fuck out of here with that. Come on now. When you can handle your shit and your affairs better than that, then I kind of respect you. Bitch, but you ain't nobody. Okay? Your ass was out here last week and they tore your ass up because they said your ass was fucking whack. Okay? And you had a nasty ass fucking attitude with your fucking fans. The little fans that you do have out here in Chicago at that club. They said you had a nasty ass attitude. Okay? Like, come on. And I can truly fucking see it. Sometimes people be lying, but a bitch like you, I can just tell because it comes off on this motherfucking TV. Alright? Now, Naima, you was wrong. Alright? But like you told Diamond talking about something you supposed to come to me. Bitch, I ain't gotta tell you nothing when I'm finna post. If I don't like you, I don't like you. Naima, I wish you just say that you don't like this bitch. Okay? Just say that you don't like the bitch. Alright? And call it a day. Everybody ain't meant to be friends. Everybody ain't meant to be cool. But we can be cordial, meaning that, hey, if I see you, it ain't gonna be no shit that's gonna pop off, okay? Because we gonna run in the same circles. Alright? Shit like that. But it's just fucking petty. Naima, don't post no more shit. And if you do, own up to it or whatever. Diamond, who the fuck are you? Like, Diamond, in my opinion, she took this shit a little bit too far. Like, it's shade, okay? That's what you do. Like, move on. If she ain't even on your radar and all that stuff, then why you know about it and why is it such a big deal and getting to you so fucking bad? Why is this little fucking incident getting to you so fucking bad? You acting like she done said some shit about your motherfucking mama, okay? Or, you know, I'm just saying she put on a motherfucking wig and just, okay, and I laugh at that shit like, yeah, bitch, alright, say what I gotta say and then I move the fuck on. Like, I ain't got time for this fake ass shit. But that was the episode. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. Peace. Oh my god, today is Tuesday. Pause. Halves and a half nots come on next week. So this review gonna be late next week, alright? Because you know I gotta get my halves and a half nots out first. Okay, that's a priority. But yeah. See y'all.